Okay. Uh, Good evening, all. Can you hear me? Okay. So thanks for responding. Yes, yes. At least if you give you a thumbs up, that also works. I don't want to hear you. That's fine. But if you don't want to talk, just give a thumbs up. Give some reaction so that I know that you are participating in this session. So let me start with my introduction. So myself, Mariappa, I'm also known as Amar. So you can call me Amar. So I have been in HR profession over past 10 to 11 years in the HR domain. So I'm expertise in POSH. So I do support a lot of companies to have POSH compliance policy at their company level. So I hope you have known me because my contact number, my name, everything should be displayed in your workplace as a IC members. Do you have my details in your company? If yes, can you please give a thumbs up if you have seen that notice board, POSH IC members notice board? Yes or no? Have you seen? No? Any reaction? Guys, come on, I want your participation. See, this can be okay. That's good. Yeah, that's okay. If you're not seen also, that's fine. So this session is that only to understand that whether we have know each other or not. So what is the policy, how it impact each and every one at the organization level, at the individual level. So, as informed myself, Amar, so I am working on this field from 10 to 12 years as of now. So, I'll be your POSH trainer for today. Okay, so let me start through presentation. We are going to discuss about POSH Act. What is the full form of POSH Act? It's a full form is Prevention of Sexual Harassment at Workspace. Right. So the main objective of this policy is to understand what is the what it prevents, what it prohibit, and what is the redress. Uh, Redress it is given to women. So this is only for women. Okay, women at the workplace, not for the men. So you should understand. Let's dive into the policy. I'm going to explain each and every point. So if you have any question, you can please note it down at the end. I will be taking all your questions. I'll try to answer all your questions. Okay. So let me start with the introduction. So as you know, the POSH policies started from 2013. So before that, there was no such policy. If you've seen, so there were other IPC sections and all, but for workspace, there was no such policy. So from 2013, it came in place. So why it came in place? If you, we should understand the history and foundation of the POSH policy, why it came to play. So, to understand, we have to see that there was a Vishaka Guidelines. From that, Supreme Court has noticed that there is no proper policy in the workspace. So that's why, keeping this case, they have initiated a POSH policy, and the Supreme Court has initiated this POSH policy to be implemented all over India in all places. Okay, so what is the core purpose of this policy? The 3 points you can see, these highlighted points. One is prevention, so to prevent sexual harassment at the workspace. Second one is prohibition, so to prohibit the unwelcome sexual conduct at the workspace. And the last one is redressal, so if it happened, what needs to be done, so what is the resolution for that. So that is the thing. Okay, and it also protects our fundamental rights. So what are those rights? If you see down, this POSH policy also derived from fundamental rights. Article 14, prohibition of discrimination, and Article 15, Article 14, right to equality, and prohibition of discrimination comes under Article 15, and also right to practice any profession, article 19. So this POSH policy also include our fundamental rights. Next, we should understand the scope and applicability of this policy. So, whom it covers, what is the scope? So, who it covers? It covers employees. So any employees, it is not only full-time regular employees, it covers everyone. It may be regular employee, it may be temporary employee, it may be ad hoc employee, that means short-term employees and daily wages employee, and even extended workforce like interns, trainees, apprentices, and volunteers. It covers everyone. Even it covers external parties also. For example, if any client comes to your place, female client, the policy still applicable to them. And also it is applicable to customers, vendors, whoever comes to your office as a visitors also, this policy is applicable. And domestic workers also, for example, in your office any domestic workers is there, so it applies to them also, or any domestic workers working for you, then it should cover to them also. And scope, this scope of the policy, it covers public and private sector, organized and unorganized sector, and also NGOs. So that means it covers almost all the places. Okay. Unorganized sectors, if you consider, means if any woman working as a household maid, it covers to them also. But how it covers, so you may be having that mind, if the POSH policy should implement, there should be 10 members. So we'll understand how it covers at the end, so that you will understand why the scope is covered to everyone. And let's understand what is workspace. Okay, so workspace means we understand only wherever our office is there, we think that is the workspace. But in the policy we have to understand what is the workspace. It is a vast area, not only one place where we are working. So workspace means whatever office you have, main office, it may be branches, it may be client visit, during your employment, if you're visiting any client places, that is also considered as a workspace. And transportation, so if you're traveling with any company provided transportation, that is also covered as a workspace. And offsite location, if you are going to any business trips with team meetings, training, official dinner, so even team dinner, whatever it may be. So if you're working in a company, from the company wherever you go, that becomes a workspace, not only your office. Okay. Then employer accommodation, if the company provides you, company provides stay, right? So that is also considered as a workspace. So company guest houses, it may be hostel, hotel arrangement, whatever it may be. Okay. And virtual workspace, even if, for example, now what we are having this conversation, right, this is also a workspace, but it's a virtual workspace, so where we are having our meeting on Google Team, Google Meets, right? So this is also called workspace. So we should understand what is the workspace means. It covers everything. Let me come to next. Then compliances, requirement, duties of employer. So there are duties of employers and employees. So let's understand what are the duties of employer to implement this POSH policy at workspace. So first one is safety and policy formation. So every company who has more than 10 employees, they should the employer should formulate the policy. So I hope all of you have got this POSH policy from this company. You should be having. So if not there, kindly check your portal. So wherever it is sent, it may be in your mail. So you should be having this uh, policy in your hand. Okay. So the employer should have a POSH policy, and the employer should also set up a internal committee. Before it was called as a ICC. So ICC means internal complaint committee. Now it is now the term is changed. Now it is called IC. So that means internal committee. So the internal committee should be there. So out of that, how many members should be there? We'll discuss next. So the organization with 10 or more members, the internal committee should be there. Okay. So what is the purpose of internal committee? So the details of IC and penal consequences of harassment must be displayed. So the internal committee details, like who is the presiding officer of internal committee, who is the external members, and who is the other committee members. So it should be shown in the company dash display board. Also, also what are the consequences if any of the employee um, did any misconduct in the office during their employment, if they behaved uh, or if they involve any such activity, then they should also aware what are the consequences they are going to face during that time. So that should be displayed by the employer. So the first one is policy formation. Second one is IC committee should be there. That data should be displayed, and also company should give all the employees awareness and capacity building trainings to all the employees related to POSH policy. So what is the meaning of POSH policy? What comes? Sometimes some employee may not understand what is the meaning of a POSH policy, what applies, what not applies. To give example, some employee may go to a female employee and say, "You're looking beautiful." Is it sexual harassment? Yes or no? I want answers here. I just want to see. Just give thumbs down or thumbs up. Uh, Telling or calling a employee she is beautiful, is it a sexual harassment? Yes or no? Please give me some reaction. Otherwise, I think just you are here and I'm only talking and not getting. Yes or no? Anything with your voice or with your reaction you can give. Yes. Good. Good. So so correct. So telling a female employee you're beautiful one time is not a offense, right? That's fine. That is that's a compliment given to that person. But if you keep going and telling you're beautiful, you're looking like this today, you're wearing this salary every day, if you go and talk to them in that way, then it become harassment. Okay, so you should understand what is the meaning of uh, what is considered as a harassment, what is not considered as a harassment. So let's discuss this in going forward. And employer also should give this awareness and capacity building training, and also they should do the reporting and inquiry support. So employer must help once employer is said this IC committee, so they will take care of this misconduct whatever happened, right, through their IC committee. And every year and they should submit a report to district officer through there is a portal called she portal, so where they have to go and file the reports, yearly reports. So this is the duties of employer. Let's go to next. So POSH policy. So while creating policy, what all the requirements we should understand, what it requires to create a policy. So first one is zero tolerance. When we are creating a policy, POSH policy, there should be zero tolerance. Like we cannot exclude one thing and include something. No, it should be zero. At workspace only, we have to be professional. Then scope of the policy. So the zero tolerance, clear definition of sexual harassment. What is the sexual harassment? Everything should be mentioned in the policy. And scope, detail applicability regards regarding employees, third parties, workspace boundaries. So we already discussed about scope, right? Scope of applicability. So in the policy, it should be clearly mentioned. And mechanism, if any incident happen, what is the mechanism? Is there for the employee. So that means the IC committee should be there and redress. So what is the clear explanation of both formal and informal inquiry procedure should be there. So that should be mentioned in the policy. And protection. So rights of complainant and respondent. So both complainant respondent right should be protected. That means they should not just go and tell everyone that oh, he did something, and so or she did something, so telling everyone openly, that should not happen. So the confidentiality should be maintained, and the identity should be maintained throughout the case. And responsibilities. So both employee and employer should maintain the safety. So so that should be mentioned in the policy. So while drafting policy, we have to maintain some guidelines. So it should be simple. The policy should be simple. It should not be like jargon where employees should not where they'll not understand, and it should be reviewed by a expert, maybe lawyer or maybe a person who are working for a posh policy. And second thing is accessibility. So it should be accessible to everyone. The policy should be there. So after this next when we are meeting, everyone should know this policy should be there. One copy should be there with you, and regularly they should update it. And sometimes the policy can be gender neutral. That means we can say it is for both men and women, but this particular policy it's only covers for women, okay, working women, not for men. So these are the requirements when we are drafting a posh policy. And coming to next very important point is internal committee. So before I was telling it was called ICC, internal complaint committee. Now it's called as IC, internal committee. So while forming internal committee, the company should have minimum 10 members, and there should be one presiding officer. So the presiding officer should be a woman, and the woman should be the senior woman from employee organization, and she should not be from the management part. So for example, your founder cannot be a presiding officer, or your MD cannot be a presiding officer, or CEO cannot be a presiding officer. It should be someone from the employee side, so where they can go and approach and give the complaint. So you should also know who is your presiding officer, and also 2 3 internal members can be there from the company. It may be male or it may be female, but 50% of the IC members should be women, and one external member should be there. So why one external member should be there? Because so one external member from NGO side or from lawyer side should be there, so that uh, they should not uh, what do you say, they should not see the case or whatever the incident from the employee or employer side. They should have they should not give any um, neutrality should be there, yes. So they should not consider employer employee relationship. They should see as a fresh with the fresh eyes. So that's why in every IC committee there will be one external member. So I'm the external member for your committee, IC committee. So when I come to your company for handling any cases, I may not know you personally. I may not know your management personally, but if I'm the employee of the company and if I'm the external member, then I know both of you. Then I may do a favor to one person. I may give, I may say no. Even if the person has done something, I may say no. He's not done anything. So that's why the policy makes sure one external member will be there in the policy, so that so it can be the bias can be prevented. And so as I told, 15 member IC member should be women, and they can be in the IC committee for up to 3 years. After that, the committee should be changed. The presiding official should be changed, or they can re-elect by the employer. And what are the roles and rules and governance while forming IC committee? So ensuring fair inquiry and prevention. So that is the main work of the IC committee. So they should conduct core duties like prevent harassment, receive complaints, and conduct fair inquiries. So that is one. And external member role. So what external member do? They ensure neutrality and prevent bias and guides due procedure. What is the procedure? What is next step? What can be done once you get the complaint, and how to respond to it, and how to record, all things will be taken care by the external member. And registration wanted for register IC details in certain states. So Telangana master. So now everywhere the IC committee should be registered. So recently I think we have registered on she portal. So then disqualification. So also if the one person is abusing the power, the employer can disqualify them, and they can replace that person. So that can be done through IC committee. And annual report should be submitted to district officer. So this is about IC committee. So now coming to the main points, what is sexual harassment under POSH? So the core definition, it says unwelcome acts or behavior directly by implication. Okay, so one is physical contact and advances. I'm not going to explain each and everything. So one is physical contact. So physical contact means someone coming and touching you inappropriately when you are working, or asking you advances like demanding you request or sexual favors, or saying that I will promote you if you do this for me. So this all comes under sexual harassment. And also making colored remarks. So what is colored remarks? Can anybody tell me, or put me in message, what is the meaning of colored remarks? Do you know? Don't know? That's fine. If you don't know, that's fine. So yeah, so colored remarks means um, remarking with the body, like you're looking I told you, right, you're looking beautiful one time is fine, but telling every time you're looking fat, or looking uh, thin, or you're some commenting through some of the body parts, so all this called colored remarks. Okay, and sometimes joking about that person with sexual words, so that also called colored marks. And showing pornography at the workspace, and any other unwelcome physical or verbal or non-verbal conducts of sexual nature is called harassment. Okay, under POSH Act. Okay. So another thing is, what we want to understand is, sometimes in company, sometimes your manager or your management, whoever it may be, they may give you treatment, special treatment to one person, and they may give you more salary or more promotions, and through by keeping in mind these sexual flavors, or otherwise they may treat you differently if you are not obeyed for that. So that also comes under um, unwelcome definition. Okay, and also sometimes they may scare you, I will prevent your job employment, or future promotion. So if you don't do this, I may not give you promotion. So that also comes under unwelcome. So you should know. And otherwise creating a hostile environment in your work, giving you more pressure because you are not taken their word or something like that. So that also considered as unwelcome. So in that time you can directly approach the IC committee and give your complaints there. So this is called sexual harassment. So, so we understood what is the POSH policy, what is harassment. Now how to give a complaint. So you should, most of the employees doesn't know how to give a complaint, whom to approach, even though there is a lot of details. So let's understand in next slide how to give a complaint, whom to give a complaint, who can give a complaint. Okay, so who can give complaint? So any aggregative aggravated woman can file a complaint. It should be a written complaint. Okay, you have to you may be having the POSH members mail ID, so you can drop a mail to any of the members. So or you can write it and submit to your HR team, so there where they can send it, or you can send a mail also. So you will be given mail IDs, you can where you can send mail also. So any woman who face sexual harassment, it may be anyone, not only full time. We already discussed this. Not maybe full time employee. Any woman who are working for the company, if they face any harassment, they can give complaint. And filing mode, you can give. As I told you, you can write it in a white sheet and submit it, or you can send a mail, so which is very convenient. So we will also understand what is IC. IC we understood. What is LC, that we'll discuss later stage. Then timeline. So you should give your complaint within 3 months of the incident. In some special cases, if you are not able to give within 3 months, again there is if you have valid reason, then you can give within next 3 months also. So that means within 6 months you have to give the complaint. Okay, and some employees say they may scared, they don't want to give their name while giving complaint. So that time it is not acceptable actually. So for example, if the IC committee want to take action, so you cannot say IC to the IC committee, please don't tell my name, who that I gave the complaint, so the other party should not come to know that I have given the complaint. So that is not possible. If you have faced the harassment, you should stand for yourself and you should give complaint with your name. You cannot say I cannot go. Otherwise, what you can do, if you are not able to give, you can give the complaint through your friends or your from your family members. So that is also possible, but you cannot give complaint anonymously. That's for sure. And so you should note this. So if you want to give complaint with IC committee, that is fine. If you want to, if you think what is happened with you is not right, if you want to give police complaint, so that it can be done, and the IC committee should assist you during that time. So that is the responsibility of IC committee. So, how will be the inquiry and inquiry process? What are the steps and timeline the IC committee should follow? So, this is the first. You should submit a complaint. Okay, so copies of the complaint along with supporting documents. So you may be having a chart, you may be having a video evidence or audio evidence or mails, whatever maybe you may be having. So you have to submit it through complaint. Okay, and notice will be sent. So once you submit the complaint, the IC committee will give notice to the other person who harassed your respondent. So within 7 working days, then respondent should respond to that notice within 10 working days. Then inquiry should be concluded within 90 days. Okay, so this is the timeline and process. So legal representative is not allowed. So here, legal representation is not allowed. If the party miss three consecutive hearing, the IC may pass expert order after giving 15 days notice. So what it says means, for example, you have given complaint and the respondent is responded, but when the IC committee calls you for inquiry, if you 3 times if you miss the hearing, then the committee can consider that this is a false case and you are not ready to further anymore for the case, and they may drop the case. Or if the respondent is not responded within during 3 hearings, then they may consider that you have done you have done the incident happened and you are not ready to give the details, and they may give their decision. They may terminate you. So what are the things is that we'll discuss in next slides. So interim relief during inquiry. So the person who got affected, they can request transfer, or they can apply for paid leaves because of this issue, or you have to be protected from bias. So that's why there will be one external member will be there, and educational institution specifically. So this is not for you. Okay, next, inquiry reports and structure accommodation. So when you are this is for IC committee, this is not for you, but just for your awareness. So the title, page, identity should be there, case number should be mentioned, and name, designation of parties to be mentioned, and IC members detail to be mentioned in the, and dates of the incident, and what and IC committee's inquiry, all the details should be mentioned, and case details to be mentioned, and evidence and proceeding, what proceeding has taken place, what are the evidences collected all during this complaint. All the data should be and what are the findings and reasons, whether the complaint is true or is it malice, or it's a false case is given, so that everything should be maintained, and conclusion should be given. So what are the recommendation can be given by the IC committee. So based on the severity, past records or organization impact, they may give different recommendation. One maybe minor penalties like written apologies can be taken, or warning can be given. Then if it's major penalties, withholding promotion or pay or termination can be taken, and deduction from salary to be paid to the aggregate women. So that can be done. As I told you, termination can be done, corrective measure can be taken, counseling session can be given for both the parties. So these are the recommendation given by the IC committee. And what are the penalties and consequences? So we have already discussed, if the employer has some duties, like they have to form a policy and IC committee and all. So if they're not maintaining a POSH policy, then the employer can be fined 50,000 for initial compliances failure. Then again, if they fail, then again 50,000. And sometimes it may impact, they may cancel your license also. So that much impact will be there if the employer is not maintaining POSH Act in the company. Okay, and individual consequences. So you can see disciplinary action can be given if you have done any incident, and career may be impacted. So next time, if you have done any incident in your present company, if you go to next company, you will be checked, right, with your previous company, how was your conduct and everything. So that may impact you, and financial deduction will be there. And the complainant may get some amount from the respondent income, and corrective measure can be taken. So these are the penalties and consequences. Next, confidentiality requirement under POSH Act, prohibition of publication. So whatever incident happened cannot be published in anywhere. Okay, so the confidentiality should be maintained. So confidentiality can be maintained, but you cannot say keep my names confident. That is not possible. If you are a complainant, then your details should be there. You cannot hide your details, because the other party who is responding should also have their rights. Right? They can defend themselves. So they should also know who given complaint, whether it's true or not. They should also given chance to prove themselves. Then penalty for breach. So any person breaching confidentiality is liable for penalties under service rules. The absence of specific rules, the employer can impose fine 5,000 for unauthorized disclosure. So, for example, if any complaint happened, if you disclose to your friend or to media, then you will be fined for that. Organization best practices. So the organization make sure that the details should not be leaked outside the organization. So that's why every organization signs NDA, right, non-disclosure agreement. So that should be in place during this POSH policy. The organization should prepare annual report. So the annual report should have how many cases recorded during that year, and if there is any pending cases, and what is the action is taken, and how many awareness session is given. And to submit this annual report is end of every Jan. Okay, every year Jan, end of the year, the report should be submitted. Then directors reports for company registered RC from Ministry of Corporate Affairs. They should also include inclusion of data. The employer must include the number of cases filed, same, and compliance statement and applicability. So it is applicable or not, and filing. So they should also maintain. So then now we have discussed about IC. Now come to LC. So what is LC? LC is called local committee. So, for example, if your organization is less than 10 members, you don't have IC committee. So during that time, the district level there will be one LC. The LC means local committee will be there. It will be formed by the um, district officer. So they will maintain. They will be having different chair members and members. So you can give complaint to that place if you don't have IC. In our case, since we have IC, we no need to worry about this. Since we have more than 10 members, and it is an organized sector, so this is not applicable to us. But you should aware about this. If you have anyone in your family, or if any maid is working with your home, they are called unorganized sector, right? So if they face any issues, you can tell them that there is a committee called LC, so you can, where they can go and approach. So you will get all the details online, so you can just check about this. Then, if anybody give a false complaint and malicious intent, if they have malicious intent about other person, they want to harm their reputation, then you will be in trouble. The complaint will give complaint, right? They will be in trouble. So if, there will be same legal penalties, and they may complaint against you. They may go to court or a police station and give complaint against you if you have given false statement. Okay, so you have to be sometimes it in many cases we can see that while doing the inquiry, sometimes because of the grudge, sometimes they just give false complaint saying that other person is harassed, but they may not having any uh, documents or details to prove that. So but the other person may impacted because of that. And so that is the one legal standard, so that is the one you cannot give malicious or false cases. The second thing is, for example, in some cases the person who give complaint may not able to give proper documentation. Harassment may happen, but they may not have any evidences like audio, video, WhatsApp, anything. So that time it cannot be considered as false, but the lack of documents. Penalties for so there will be penalties for if they proven malice. Okay, no respondent compensation. So there is no compensation for respondent. So in this policy we cannot see that. Okay, so we are at the end of the training session. So let's review what we have discussed about the POSH policy. One is, so we have discussed policy and display. Okay, so every organization should have policy and they should display all the IC members' details, and the policy copy should be there with all the employees, and IC committee should be there with if there is any 10 or more members in a company. There should be a presiding officer. There should be internal members and external members should be there, and 50% more than 50% employees should be women. IC members should be women, and IC committee details should be displayed in your organization with their contact numbers and name, mail IDs and their names. And training should be given by the employees, so that we discuss what is the due process is there we have discussed, and action and relief. So what is the action can be taken, or is the relief can be given, that we discuss. And the employer how they file compliances report yearly, that we have discussed. So this is about POSH policy. Yeah, so this is the end of session. If you have any questions, you are welcome to ask. I'm open for questions. Any questions, guys? No questions. Okay, how is the training? Is it good? Is it bad? If it's good, please give me thumbs up. If it's bad, you can still give me. Okay. So if you have any questions, we have still one more. One. Yeah. Anjay Kumar. Yes. Anjan Kumar. Yes, Anjan Kumar. What's your question? Okay. So I kept my session very simple so that everyone understand, and I didn't keep any jargons in this, so that everyone understand. Still, to make sure you have understood this training, so one link will be sent by the HR team, so where you will again get a chance to revise this training. And you have to attend, there is a short test will be there, some 10 to 15 question will be asked, very simple questions, you know, to uh, break your head, very simple questions. Once you complete those questions, you will be given completion certificate, so you can directly download it, and you have to download that certificate and submit to your HR team as a completion of this post training. Okay, so that is the this is the next stage. So one, we have given the session, awareness session to all of you. So next thing is you have to take one short very simple test, and download your submit and submit to the HR. So Mahesh, please send out a mail to all the employees, and let them give you the completion certificate. So please maintain in their profiles. So if anytime any compliances team comes and check whether you have attended the training, one, we can give these training session details as proof. Second thing is you can also maintain the completion post training completion certificate, so that and whoever joins in between, they can attend this training, I mean the training, and complete the training session. Any more question, guys? Okay, so I hope you got 100% knowledge out of my session. Since you don't have any questions, Mahesh, can we end the session? Is there any questions from your end? Okay, guys, I hope. So thank you for your time, and thanks for attending my session. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, any doubt, if you need this PPT or any material, please reach out to me. So I'm happy to help. Thank you all. You can drop. Yeah, thanks, Mahesh. Yeah, thank you for organizing this. ಒಬ್ರು ಅವನು ಹೇಳಿದ ಮುಂಚೆನೆ ಯಾರು ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ನೀನು ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ, ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ. ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್